now, period. But also that's part of the reason why a lot of people that hit my age end up becoming poly.
There you go.
That's why they end up becoming poly. So for that lack, they can go get some. And it's all good. So most definitely. So, oh my goodness. So, Mr. Rod, we brought you on because I let Miss Spit Queen explain to our listeners who you are and why we have you on the show today. Go ahead, Miss Spit Queen.
Okay, well, hi to all the listeners. Well, some people who might know, I mentioned it before, but I am in a poly group on Telegram, and I'm really barely ever in there, honestly. But I will pop in and out sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually scrolling through my Instagram and I seen the conversation had popped up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I seen, our, host today. He was talking about his dynamic, in his household. And he's talking about basically how, him and his partner pretty much kind of compromise together with their things because he's poly, but
Mm-hmm.
she's not, per se.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how, how it works in his dynamic. And it threw me off because I heard compromise. And I was like, well, I'm not compromising, my certain things for anybody. But he broke it down. He talked
Mm-hmm.
about it. I said, you know what? I want to bring him on the show so that way I can get more, I guess, both a married and single because, me being single and you being married,
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a good thing to bring on and we discuss it and we talk about it and see where it goes from there.
See,
All right.
that's why she's my co-host. So, Mr. Rowdy, explain your situation to our listeners.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm
so
happy to.
in your own words. In your own words. Go
Sure,
ahead.
sure. Then thank you for having me on. It's an honor, and I hope that the people listening, can learn a little bit of something through this, and maybe improve their own situation, or at least improve themselves as a result. So, about 10 years ago, I had a marriage end because I was unfaithful. I really have never gotten the hang of monogamy since I was, a kid. I'm 40 years old now, 41.
Mm-hmm.
And I did some like marriage counseling, some individual counseling, and because of my appetite for intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
marriage counselor suggested that I explore Sexaholics Anonymous.
Okay.
And so I explored Sexaholics Anonymous, and there were man, there were some people in there that were like court ordered to be there, like they were going through some
Wow.
serious
Damn.
demons in there, serious demons in there. And after about a year of that, I was going there willingly. I came to the
Mm-hmm.
conclusion that really the only thing I needed to do is be honest with myself and my partners on what my sexual needs were and my intimacy needs. And that the problem wasn't necessarily my appetite per se, but because I was being dishonest.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm.
I went about telling all my partners that I was going to meet from that point forward. I would meet someone and like right off the bat, I'd be like, you know what, this is going great, but I just want to let you know, I am into dating multiple people, and like, I'm seeing people right now, and I didn't even know what polyamory was back then. I didn't know what an open
Okay.
marriage was,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and so I met my future wife out one night. We clicked right away. She invited me over to her place the next day, and we were having like a little bit of a come to Jesus date number one on her couch,
Right.
and she asked me to be square with her, and I was. I laid all my cards out on the table, and our chemistry was undeniable. And I was like, I'm gonna ride or die for you,
Mm-hmm.
but you are not gonna be the last person that I'm intimate with. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, if you're okay with that, I'm gonna go to the ends of the earth for you. And she was like, let's see what happens. The backstory on her is that, she doesn't necessarily have the same libido as me, and
Mm-hmm.
other partners in her past had ended the relationship because they wanted someone who was more sexual. And so I
Mm-hmm.
believe that, me seeking sexual gratification outside of her, like, kind of was a relief, kind of took some pressure off of her. You know what I'm saying? Like, back to the birthday sex thing. Maybe your wife ain't feeling it, but maybe
Right.
she understands that you might want that, so she gives you the green light to go experience it safely somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a work in progress. We've got boundaries, and we discuss it all the time, and it's not perfect at all. But at the end of the day, our relationship is stronger than almost
Mm.
all the relationships of our friends.
That's
Mm.
beautiful.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Aw.
So with her, it's not. Let's just say this question I wanted to ask you: if she wanted to become poly and play outside, that's open, correct?
So it took me a long time to get to this place, but
Yeah.
in theory, I want her to experience all the same joys that I experienced too. Am I gonna feel some jealousy? Of course.
Yeah,
Um,
that's only human nature.
it's human nature. I experience jealousy over some petty things. I have a girlfriend. I only have one girlfriend right now. But my girlfriend and I were at a paint and sip event, and I was hosting it, and
Mhm.
I was supposed to sit next to her, but because I was hosting, some other young brother got to sit next to her, and
Aw.
the two of them chatted up all night, and here I was. I got a wife at home, I got a girlfriend, I got other partners in other states, and here I am jealous because this dude's sitting and talking to her at this paint and sip. They ain't never gonna see
You
each
are
other.
living the life, sir. You are living the life.
Here I am
And
deep in
you're
my
upset
feelings
because somebody is speaking to her.
because someone is speaking to her. And yeah, so it's just
But that's
jealousy is
cute, though.
natural.
That's cute.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna be some jealousy there because when you say that's your girlfriend, of course you claiming ownership to a certain extent. Period. So it's gonna be a little jealousy there, as long as it's not overbearing. That's the key.
exactly. I'm not gonna come over and tell either one of them anything. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Hmm.
That's something. Jealousy. This is what people get. This is what messes people up. When people experience jealousy, they feel like the other person needs to change their behavior to help with their own jealousy. But when you're feeling jealous, that's something that you need to check internally on your
Hmm.
own.
Yeah, because I think that the biggest thing of it is that when you were talking about you going to sex anonymous,
Mm-hmm.
um, now did you believe there was such thing as sex addiction?
Oh, absolutely. And I have tendencies of a sex addict. Um,
Hmm.
but the definition of addiction is when it begins to take over your life. Nothing, something's an
Hmm.
addiction once like you start disrupting your lifestyle to get that thing.
Hmm.
And so, there were some dangerous things that I did that could have disrupted my lifestyle. But I had to get a grip on that.
Oh my God, what the?
He's like, what is going
Jesus.
on?
Because see, no, to me, all right, a lot of times when you hear the dude say sex addiction is because he got caught cheating,
No, it's
and
way deeper than that.
well, I mean, I understand that because I mean, I have my reservations to a certain extent because there are some people that probably are truly sex addicts, and
Oh,
then
that's
there's
a
some
fact.
that claim to be sex addicts. They're just hypersexual. They
There,
don't
there was a
understand
Yeah, I
that.
want that
Yeah, I'm
page.
glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Yep.
Yeah, because to me, I think not every sex addiction is a sex addiction. It's just some motherfuckers just love to fuck. I'm sorry.
Or you know
You,
what? There was a dude in my class who was in there because he couldn't help himself from buying dirty magazines, and his wife was about to divorce him because he was buying dirty magazines. I couldn't believe
But
it.
that's harmless, though. That's harmless.
It's
but
crazy.
see, the jealousy goes both ways because when it comes to a woman, she wants to feel like you're the best thing that you would ever get. So when these girls, and it's funny, I'm gonna tell you what's funny. That same female that was about to divorce this dude is the same female that I'm gonna end up talking to in 2 years, talking about she doing porn and now she love to suck dick and do gangbang.
Wow. Shit.
So because the ones that proved them the ones that the most sexually suppressed
Wow.
out of everybody. Because them the ones that they didn't want their husband to do porn, they end up doing porn today. When they didn't want their husband to look at porn, now they actually doing the shit that they didn't want him to watch.
That's
And
wild.
I've seen that too many times with a lot of girls out of interview. That's how they got in porn. They got out of a marriage that was sexless, mostly because of them, not necessarily because of the husband, you know, which goes back to equally yoked because sometimes we marry somebody that we're not compatible with sexually.
There's so
And
many things that you need to be compatible with with another person. Like,